Raquel here, and today I'm going to be working on my December hip kits. I have the sketch by Ashley, so she's got, there's two photos here which I'm going to replace for this large 5x7 of my daughter's 3rd birthday. There's a heart, so I've cut out the heart background in a large format, and the title is running at the top and the bottom. There's some stitches and splattering and sort of little embellishments that go diagonally, so I'll use some of the embellishments from the kit in that. So my plan is with this cut file, I was sitting this on and trying to figure out, I adore this paper by Studio Calico in the Goldie collection, and I've seen so many amazing things from the team and in the forum from subscribers, and I had an idea that with this cut file you can sort of see it you could section it into 4. So there's a line here and a line here. So what I thought I could do was, I really want to feature the way that this paper is set up without covering it all up. So I thought I could cut and back my heart, this bit with pink, this bit here with the yellow, this bit here with the white, and then this bit here with the black and white. So that's my plan to start with, and then I'll go from there. That's all I've pre-thought of. So I'll speed you up and I'll get creating.
So I did go ahead and start cutting up that paper ready to back my cut file. I simply just cut along those lines, and then I used a pencil just to trace the outer edge of the cut file, and then I knew that I just had to cut a little bit in from that to then adhere it to the back of the file without any bits being seen. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm using just the Scotch quick dry glue to adhere those pieces on, and it's mainly because sometimes if I use a tape runner it is a bit too thick for the narrow cut file lines. So I am using the tape runner there, and because these edges are a little bit, or the border of the heart is a bit larger, it sort of works okay in this case. Any bits that are left or peeking through I'm just trimming off with my scissors. I've got this spotty paper which I adore, and I end up covering quite a bit of it, which is a bit sad, but luckily I have the extra pattern paper, so I'll be able to use another piece on another layout. And I'm sticking that down, and then I'll move on to the white piece. Now I probably could have even skipped that altogether. I do cover a lot of that with the photo, and I knew that, and that's why I kept that white piece where it was. And I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm looking for my adhesive, I think. So I'm sticking that on, and then I'm actually going to back this whole large piece with foam, which you'll see me do shortly. So I've gone off camera and I've machine stitched a circle which I've drawn with that protractor that I was holding, or compass, I'm not sure, and I'm just pulling the threads behind. I didn't want any of them showing at the front, and I will secure those with a bit of tape at the back just to keep them not from coming back through. So I did 2 circles, 2 rounds of stitching, and then I have selected that Best Day Ever chipboard piece or wood veneer piece from the Wood Veneer Maggie Holmes Shine pack, and instead of having a title that was 1 line at the top and 2 at the bottom, I decided to do the 3 lines all together. So what I'm doing now is, I was really inspired by Nancy in completing this layer, and I wanted to alter my veneer. So in a moment I'm going to slow down the recording and I'm actually going to talk you through what I've done to create this layout and how I've done the embossing. So I'll switch you back on now and walk you through that.
As you can see, I've sectioned it off with washi tape. I got this idea from Nancy and I've been in love and wanting to try it ever since when I saw her. She did a whole page with the feature of wood veneer and cut them with washi tape either diagonally or horizontally and then painted, I think. But I think this will be a gorgeous feature, and because there's so many geometric looks within that cut file, the geometric sort of design of the, I just saw a little bit undone, of the veneer, like it running across the veneer, I think will look really effective. So I'm going to heat this up, and I might also do, I'll leave that, I might do the star half as well, why not? So I might cut it there and do most of the star with the gold. I might zoom you in. So I'll show you what I'm doing, and then I'm going to heat them up together. Bit of a time saver. And you just sprinkle it on. So I've just got a embossing clear dauber. I do have the Versamark pads as well, but this I thought would be easier for what I'm doing it for. And then all you have to do is just carefully peel that up, and it's got that half sort of look to it. I might even do, seen in a lot of the crepe paper packs they have either the circles, I think there's some in this collection actually, the circles or the diamonds, and then they're half done as well. Sorry, can't see. That might help, mightn't it? So I'll do those as well. Just make a fun little embellishment. So I'm going to scatter these like the sketch has the splatters. I'll scatter these diagonally. So that's why I thought as well I'd pop that best day ever on the diagonal, because I'll scatter the embellishments from this side, say, to this other side. And what else will we do? We leave one. Maybe we go crossways. And my heat gun, I've got to move to the other side to do that, so I won't be able to, and I won't save you the noise as well. I'll just show you the after once I've heated them up. So they're super cute. And this embossing powder, and I will have another video coming up using the same technique. Look at me, I've got stuff everywhere. Glitter, glitter, glitter. My face will be covered in glitter later. This I've had for quite a while. I'm sure they still make it, but it's a real, as you can see on my hands and everywhere, it's a real glittery texture. It's not, it doesn't sort of flatten, it stays really, looks like it's glitter and not embossing powder, if that makes sense. So it's just a gold zing embossing, and it's just from my stash, it's not from a kit. I know that Kimberly sometimes includes things like embossing or texture pastes and things, so it could have been in a kit before, I'm just not sure. And I might, now I want to do these as addition symbols. I might leave them and keep them as they are. I've already got a lot of glitter happening. So what I have to heat up, I'll get rid of these bits of tape. So I've just always have in my room just a roll by my desk that I can use for sticking off tapes or sticking off tapes, oh gee, sticking off threads, or using as anything like that. So these are the bits that I'm going to emboss, not these two, and I'll emboss them and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so I've embossed them. So this is what they turn out like. Can you see how glittery they are? I'm trying to get you in an angle there. Oh, that's good. Yep. They turn out, they literally look like you've glittered them. Now, because my hands are filthy already, I'll try and rub them on my top, but so they're clean now. It only comes off minimally, and it's probably bits that I haven't actually embossed properly, because normally it's pretty clean. So that's the best day ever. How cool does that look? It looks like you've bought it out of a pack. And then the star. So the star's the same. And then these two little bits as well. I just love it. So I'll speed you up again and I'll continue creating. I'm still not really sure what I'm doing at this stage, but that's normally my process of creating, is that I sort of roll with it a bit and see where we end up. I can have a design idea in mind, but it might not ever turn out the way that I thought. So I'll zoom me back out and we'll keep going.
So I'm back now and working on my layers and embellishments. I'll apologise, you would have heard in that last little part of the video a plane was going past our house, so that was that loud noise that you could hear. What I'm doing when I'm slowing down is I'm just recording it on my video camera, whereas this part of the voiceover is actually done with a microphone. So that's the difference in sound that you're going to hear, but I really wanted to be able to explain things as I was going and do a bit more of a talk through for this process video, so that's why it's a little bit different. So what I'm doing now is I've backed with one of the 6x6 papers. No, I've backed it with one of the larger shine pattern papers, that cut apart piece. Sorry about my head there. And then I've popped a bit of vellum behind that as well, just going vertically. I've scattered the two diamond shapes and the crosses and the stars. So I sort of have said already that I'm going to follow the sketch and work my embellishments on that diagonal. And now I'm flipping through the crepe paper shine ephemera pack to see what else I can add. So you're seeing I haven't thought of this, you're seeing my entire sort of thought process here as I'm creating. Sometimes I'll edit bits out of my process videos when I'm creating because I'm not really sure what I'm doing or my thinking is taking too long. But for this one, I've kept pretty much most of it in. So I've got my basic ephemera to the left of the photo that I've chosen. So there was sort of that floral piece, a tag, and then another little piece which was actually like a paint chip sort of looking thing. I'm working and looking through the chipboard sheet now, trying to find some bits that might work. So I've pulled out a heart. I actually pulled out that crown, and my daughter is wearing a little crown, and thought, oh, maybe, but no, I just think it would have been a bit too much. I found that little love word, which I'm adding, and that ends up staying on the layout. And then I thought maybe I could sort of work a bit of a frame and then layer on top of that on that left of the photo. I end up thinking that's a bit too a bit too much for contrast, although I do have the black and white pattern paper behind, and that little black love word felt like it was just all a bit too much, so I ended up taking that off. And now I'm just working on getting all of the foam adhered to the back so that I can then bump up my layout and create that dimension that I love. So I've done that already, and I've done that off camera. I've popped the cut file on foam tape, and now I'm working on adhering. So I've tied a cute little bow to the top of that tag. I always like to either use a bit of string, or this is crochet thread, to the top of the tag, and either just loop it through or tie a bow, but bows are pretty adorable, so normally I go with the bows. So I've done that. I'm adhering that little paint chippy thing and the flower, and because that's so fine, I'm using that liquid adhesive. What you can see me doing there is, because the die cut heart, the large heart, is on foam, it obviously is raising the page up quite a bit. So I've used a little foam dot just under the edge of the floral piece, just to bump that up to the same height. I'm using my Heidi Swap Colour Shine in Gold Lame, and that was in one of the hip kits, to just add a little bit of splatters, just like the sketch had. And now I'm adhering those veneer pieces to the page, and I really love how they've turned out, and I know that that's something I'll do in the future. I've grabbed there the 7 paper tiny stickers, but they're actually a chipboard sticker, not a tiny word sticker like we would normally use them, so they've got a bit of dimension to them. And that one says hip hip hooray, and because it's my daughter's birthday, I'm using that one. And the other one that is on top of the floral says 3, because she turned 3. I was trying to find another one, but I didn't find anything that I was loving, so I didn't pop anything else on. And I do have to the side there, on the right there, the hearts and stars and circle stickers from the Shine collection. They were from the November kits, but because they coordinated and I hadn't used them all because there's so many in the pack, I pulled them out as well and thought that it would give me a great opportunity to use up more of those. And now I'm pulling out the Heidi Swap rub-ons. They're a star and a sequiny shape, and I'm just applying the light pink ones. I'm using a rub-on tool just from my stash. I think it was from Basic Grey, and that's from years ago, and that works pretty well. I think because I had the colour shine there, I was trying to be quite careful with how I was rubbing them on, as the colour shine hadn't completely dried. And that's pretty much it. I do add some stamping with this Shine Maggie Holmes stamp from my stash and a gold ink, and I add the date. I'm going to leave you with some close-ups, and I will be back soon with my next layout and process video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.